What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another video. Today we're going to be speaking about players that Pep Guardiola has improved whilst he has been at Manchester City. This is a video request, and because there's no football for the foreseeable future, I did put out a post the other day on YouTube asking for some ideas, so this is one of them. But you can go and comment on that post now, which is on YouTube if you want to go and find it, or just leave your thoughts in the comments below with any video ideas, with any videos you would like to see me do. Just put it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Because there's no football going on, there's no match previews or match analysis or anything like that, transfers and stuff like that. Obviously not a lot happening out there, then I am open for some video ideas. So this is a video request. Before we crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then make sure if you want to help support my channel, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I am aiming for 6,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. You can also find my social media links, which you can find in description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And yeah, at this moment in time, that would be much appreciated. And don't forget also, you can leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, not only of this video but any suggested video ideas. So before we crack on this video very quickly, I'm just going to give you a quick news update of what's been happening. Of course, football is set to resume on April 3rd over in the United Kingdom and in England for the Premier League, the EFL, the FA Cup, and everything's meant to get back up and running. That's now been pushed back until April 30th. And also, they have commented, the Premier League, the EFL, the FA and everybody, saying that they want this season completing. And so the season, so next season, so 2020-21 season, will not start until the season has been completed, so the season won't be null and void. They wanted a conclusion to this season. UEFA want the season done by June 30th of this year, and Euro 2020 is now called Euro 2021 because that has been pushed back until next summer to allow the seasons across all of Europe to be completed. The Copa America over in America has also been moved back to accommodate for the football season to be concluded. We're just waiting for it to get back up and running. But of course, we have got COVID-19 running around with everything happening, and so yeah, it's very difficult to be able to get things done. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Even affecting not only with football and my channel, but affecting me personally as well. I'm having to stay in the house and self-isolate too. That's been happening now for a few days too, and yeah, I mean, it's allowing me to get lots of stuff done and catch up on lots of stuff, and being able to get lots of work done and everything. But like I said, as the days go on and stuff like that, I'm finding myself that I'm able to produce some video ideas and content. So yeah, just let me know in the comments below with what you would like to see. So we're going to crack on with this video request, and it's speaking about players that Pep Guardiola has improved on. So we're just going to dive right in, and we're going to first up speak about Ederson. Now, I think he is a top quality goalkeeper. I think he's really matured since he joined Man City from Benfica. He used to be this sweeper keeper, the player that was really good with his feet. What's he going to do with Manchester City? He's been tutored like he was Manuel Neuer, and I've honestly felt like whilst he's been at City, he's really matured. Obviously, he's still excellent with his feet. His distribution is fantastic, and that's one of the biggest reasons why Manchester City brought him in. But I feel like just as a quality goalkeeper, he's really developed. His shot stopping is very good. He's obviously got a lot better with his well-rounded, his positioning, his judgment on when to come out and when not. Obviously, still room for improvement with little bits, like his judgment when able to come out and confront players and when he doesn't need to. But in my opinion, I think he's really matured and become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper in the world, but I do think he's starting to get towards being one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And I think he's just very unlucky that, in terms of his international appearances, that he's just competing with another excellent goalkeeper in Ederson, that it's just obviously not to be with his Brazil, and he's sitting on the bench like no other country in the world could suggest that a top quality keeper like Ederson, Manchester City's number one, and it looks like he's going to be Man City's number one for many years. He's sitting on the bench for Brazil. Find it incredible, but in my opinion, he's a player that's really just gone to that next level. Always had that potential there since joining City, starting to get there now under Pep Guardiola, and yeah, honestly, the questions with City and goalkeepers is more coming about who's going to challenge Ederson. That's where we're getting these rumours going around with Zach Stefan, who possibly will be coming back to Manchester City for next season to replace Claudio Bravo, and I think that's going to push Ederson to get even better long term, I'm not too sure if that's the best thing that should happen for Zach Steffen, but I think that it will boost Ederson up and force him to become even better, which is scary because I think he's a top quality goalkeeper who, in my opinion, has come on so much and matured so much during his time at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola and in the Premier League too. He's a more well-rounded goalkeeper, so yeah, I'm very happy with the progress that Ederson is making. Now, next player, Kyle Walker. He's a player that was associated when joining Manchester City of being quick, and in my opinion, he's become better at other aspects of his game. I feel like he's not as good as what he used to be offensively, but I feel like as a defensive player, actually, again, just like Ederson, he's really matured. He knows when to track back. He knows when to stick to his position. He's a player that if City wanted to play as a back three, I wouldn't have any problem at all with him sitting as the right-handed side of centre-back, because City play a really high line. I don't think he's the best defender in the world, Kyle Walker, but I think he just really suits the way that City want to play, and that comes down to his quickness. Now, offensively, it might be affecting his game, and he might not be going as forward as much, but in terms defensively, I feel like he's really come on. And I say he's sitting at a third, the right side of a three at the back for Manchester City would work well, because he's quick, high line there, can track back, always tracking the runners. Vincent Kompany, excellent reader of the game since he's left. We've really missed that judgment. And Kyle Walker, judgment isn't as good as Vincent Kompany, that's not what I'm saying, but his pace will allow him to be able to, in the indecisive moments, be able to catch up just because he is so quick. And he's just one of them players that, to me, it's just a really good player to have on the pitch. A solid player, is a player full of positive attitude. He's a very professional person, but also a person that's got a lot of personality to offer to him too. And in my opinion, makes him ideal if City were looking for a new long-term captain, that someone like Kyle Walker would be very well suited to being a Manchester City captain, just for how professional and how much personality he does have and be able to bring onto the pitch. He's so passionate too. He's a really good player, Kyle Walker, and I really am happy with the progress that he's made since he joined City from Tottenham Hotspur. Now, another player that's really progressed a lot is Fernandinho. He's a player that, in my opinion, has become one of the most versatile, most important players at Manchester City. No doubt in how fantastic he can be, but it's just how versatile he's become. He's showing just how good he can be. He's a danger. He's a world-class, underrated player for Manchester City. Not by City themselves and the fans. I'm talking about other clubs when looking at City. They speak of Fernandinho, and normally in the same sentence from opposition fans, they're going to be speaking about tactical fouling. But tactical fouling, to me, is just one of them things in football. You see the danger, you read the danger, you wipe out the danger. You don't just let your team concede. Honestly, ask any football fan. You're going to want someone in your team to take one for the team. Vincent Kompany used to do it all the time, and he's a brilliant player. Fernandinho can do that too. Two very comparable players. Vincent Kompany started his career defensive midfield, and Fernandinho's played a lot of his career defensive midfield. I think he's a world-class defensive midfielder. Going back to centre-back, Vincent Kompany really suited. He managed to adapt his game. He had plenty of seasons playing at centre-back that Vincent Kompany became one of the best centre-backs in the world. Whereas with Fernandinho, I just feel like, I'm not sure, I'd have to see Fernandinho play a lot more games around Aymeric Laporte, because I feel like Laporte's our most solid centre-back. But play him around him, we'll see how it goes. Put Kyle Walker at right-back, and I feel like Fernandinho would slot in very comfortably there. But it's just a player that I would like to see more in defensive midfield rather than centre-back. But if City were to bring in some defenders and we're needing more options, I'd be more than happy to be utilising Fernandinho there. I think he's a wonderful player, a player that is just... he's so underrated. He's hit the heights. I think he's world class. I think he's come on leaps and bounds under Pep Guardiola. The system suits him. The play suits Fernandinho, and we've really seen Fernandinho become one of the best Premier League players that's been seen in the Premier League, and it's for Manchester City too. He's a player that when joining Manchester City, he paid some of the transfer fee to make sure he made that happen. He's another player, leads by example, and another candidate, in my opinion, of being a captain at Manchester City. Unfortunately for Fernandinho, age isn't on his side, but I'm still excited to see at least another season of Fernandinho. I don't know about you. Now, another player that I feel like's really developed well has been Zinchenko. There's no doubt in this, in my opinion. I think he's a player that's happy to start anywhere, and if you're happy to start anywhere, then you're heading in the right direction. He's an attacking player. He's learned a lot defensively, and so he's progressed a lot under Pep Guardiola, because he's learned the defensive side of his game. And in the long term, that will really suit Zinchenko, because he's going to become a smarter player on the pitch. He'll be more aware when he's playing in attack of the defensive duties that's required. And so an all-round game, it will really suit him. He's a wonderful technical player. He's a good finisher. He's good with his feet. He's a good passer. He's a good crosser of the ball too. We've seen how good he is in attack when playing for Ukraine. He scores goals. He knows how to find the goal. He knows what he's doing. I feel like he'd be better utilised in attack, and we'd see a more natural Zinchenko, but he's just happy at this moment in time playing anywhere on the pitch and playing at left back. I do feel like over the next season, I'd like to see City bring in a left back, and be able to challenge Benjamin Mendy, that we can use Zinchenko further forward, test him in attack, see how good he is, then go from there and see how much he can develop there. Because defensive side of his game, come on leaps and bounds. Let's go and prove his attacking credentials, because that, after all, is his natural position. Now, another player, only seen it for a season. I've been really impressed, though. Rodri. He's had a fantastic season for us. Borderline phenomenal. He had a slow start. Lots of people were questioning just how good Fernandinho is. It shows how good he was, because they're comparing Rodri to him and saying, actually, he's not so good. He's slow and sluggish. And actually, he's developed and become a crucial part to Manchester City's play this season. He's actually a really good player. Good aerially, good judger of the game, really good passer of the ball. Calm and collective, really needed in that central part of Manchester City's midfield, and I have no doubt in the coming seasons Rodri will get even better. Now, De Bruyne, I don't feel like we need to speak too much about De Bruyne, because we know Kevin De Bruyne is one of, if not the best central midfielder in the world. And where do I start? I mean, he came to Manchester City with bags of potential, lived up to that potential, exceeded it, and got even better. He's a magical player. He's a wonderful player to have at Manchester City, and I can't wait to see many, many more seasons of Kevin De Bruyne just ripping apart teams from the middle, because he's a puppet master. He's absolutely brilliant. He's on different class, absolutely different class. Love Kevin De Bruyne. Come on leaps and bounds. I don't think there's any argument about that whatsoever. Yeah, Raheem Sterling. Yeah, this is a controversial one, this one. Now, I feel like the biggest area that's improved for Sterling under Pep Guardiola is his finishing. I feel like his positioning's got a lot better, so he's scoring more goals for Manchester City. And everyone was comparing him with how his performances were going with England, which I think is unfair, because England's team isn't as good as Manchester City's. But the opportunities and the style of play was really suiting Raheem Sterling, and that's why he scores goals. He's a player, though, that seems to rely a lot on form. Give him a couple of goals and his old guns blazing. He knows how to score goals, knows where the back of the net is, knows his good positioning, and over the last couple of seasons in particular, he has really worked hard to be able to improve his finishing and scoring goals. I do feel like at times he's maybe looking for the extra pass, he's looking for one touch too many, and a little bit indecisive. Reminds me a little bit of David Silva when in an attacking position too. Always looking for that extra pass, always looking to see if there's someone in a better position. I'm not going to shoot, and because of that the opportunity slips away and we end up not getting the goal. In actual fact, they'd probably be better just having a pop at goal and seeing if they can find the back of the net, and showing a bit of selfishness really. And I feel like that would aid David Silva, I feel like that would aid Raheem Sterling. So that's something for Raheem Sterling to be able to improve on in the future, but I do feel like he's got better and better and better as the seasons have developed, and I've no doubt in the next couple of seasons that Raheem Sterling can get even better. Just looking for more consistency, really. Now, another player, again, he's not a player I really need to speak about too much. Bernardo Silva came to Manchester City, high-pressing winger, knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, scores goals and gets assists, and he's continued to do that for Manchester City. Now, one thing that I've been really impressed with Bernardo Silva is his ability. Let's forget about the Man United game, but every other game where he's turned up, he knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. He turns up. Like I said, forget about the United game that's previously just gone, but look at other games where he's big moments. Bernardo Silva's been there and been more than a match. Manchester United in the Carabao Cup, wonderful goal, managed to help us knock them out. I'm talking Arsenal, back-to-back games at the Emirates Stadium last season and this season, scores goals, good finishes at that. And these are tricky opponents that he's just helping to be able to break down. He's a player that I get a lot of confidence from when I see him on the pitch. One of them players that's just continued just to get better and better and better, and I'm excited to see what Bernardo Silva can do. One thing we are seeing with Silva is he's starting to go more centrally now rather than being a winger, and I feel like City maybe in the long term might be looking to try and utilise him as an attacking midfielder or more of a central midfielder rather than a winger, and that might just purely come down to the Premier League and pace, because pace works really, really well. Bernardo Silva technically gifted player, but he isn't the quickest of players, and so City might just look to try and mix and match. And it's something that actually, when moving centrally, might suit Bernardo Silva against teams that aren't as good, but when going up against other teams like the Arsenals and the Manchester Uniteds of this world, I feel like he's better suited out wide in my opinion, but you can always utilise him in the middle too. He's a wonderful player. He has some off games. It's going to happen to every single player, and I'm really happy with his progress and how he's coming along, and I have no doubt he'll get even better. Now, another player that likes to move centrally actually is Riyad Mahrez. He's a player that over last season struggled to get game time, competing against Leroy Sané, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling. He struggled to get game time. The injury to Leroy Sané actually has seen Riyad Mahrez starting more games, and it's something that worked really well for City, in particular in January, was when we was playing with that 5 at the back, was putting Riyad Mahrez up, sitting just behind the striker, playing a more central area. Scored goals, got assists, made things happen. And actually, Riyad Mahrez has been one of Manchester City's best players this season. And he's a player that, when he came from Leicester with a reputation, we know what he was capable of. We saw it when Leicester won the Premier League. He's a wonderful player, a player that can hurt teams, any team, quality teams. Great on the counter-attack, good eye for goal, and a wand of a left foot. And he's continued to do that with Manchester City. He's tracking back, he's covering his runs, he's getting better, getting into good positions, being able to shoot and score goals. And his confidence, after a slow start, let's say, he started to get better and better. And the speak of Riyad Mahrez leaving, and I hope that isn't true, because I'm excited to see how much better Riyad Mahrez can get, because Leroy Sané looks like he's more than likely going to be leaving Manchester City, and so keeping hold of our wingers, players like Sterling and Mahrez, is going to be crucial. And if we're going to move Bernardo central, then Riyad Mahrez has got an open goal there to go and be a Manchester City winger. So, yeah, I'm hoping that he will be able to stay at Manchester City. Now, another player we'll speak about, and this is obviously like another video, basically, is speaking about young players. Phil Foden, maturing. He's an eager player. He's developing nicely. Mark my words. Given 3 or 4 seasons at Manchester City, he'll be a regular in our starting 11. He'll be a regular for England too. He's young, just needs to be patient. There'll come a time where players are going to leave, the David Silvas, etc., and there's going to be a free spot there. And honestly, why spend lots of money when we've already got a world-class player like Phil Foden there? We've been experimenting with other positions, moving him out wide. It worked against Villa in the Cup. Didn't work against Manchester United. It's just something that we just need to learn and move on from and develop, and continue to have a look and see where we can suit Phil Foden to suit our formations and where we're going to go from there. But he showed in that League Cup final that he's just got acres of potential. He ripped Aston Villa apart, and he was crucial in Manchester City winning the Carabao Cup final. He was the man of the match for the game. He was fantastic, showing just what he's capable of, and his level is definitely top end of the Premier League. Like I said, give him 3 or 4 seasons, we'll judge, but in my opinion, under Pep Guardiola, he's getting better and better and better. That England Cup call-up, is coming soon. He's learning and learning and learning. Give him 3 or 4 seasons, let's see where we go from there. Last player I've been really impressed is Sergio Aguero. Now, it's nearly impossible for Mr. Reliable in front of goal to be able to get better, but he has. He tracks back, he's learned it in his game. Say 6 or 7 years ago, and you say to me, Sergio Aguero drops deeper, tracks back, makes tackles in midfield. He's been doing that this season under Pep Guardiola, and he's come on tenfold in my opinion. He's a more well-rounded, matured striker because of it. Always had an eye for goal. He's always going to score goals no matter when he's playing or where he's playing on that pitch, because he knows how to score goals. But is offering more to the team now, and that, in my opinion, makes him a more well-rounded individual, makes him a great team player, and makes him more of a certainty to start with Manchester City. More starts means more goals when you're as deadly in front of goal as what Sergio Aguero is. And in my opinion, is another player that's learning and getting better. He's a professional. He's captain material, leads by example, knows what he's doing on the pitch. We've seen the odd few times in the last, well, I'm talking like 5-6 years ago, he used to make some rash decisions, and things were like happening with David Luiz and that, but he's really matured into his own game, knows what it takes, calm and collective. Wonderful player, progressing really nicely, Sergio Aguero. And there was some question marks when Pep Guardiola first came, saying that Pep Guardiola might be looking at other strikers, because Pep Guardiola don't really like strikers. Yeah. So there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below of this video, and any recommendations for any videos that you would like to see me make. Subscribe if you're new around here, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. You can also find my social media links, Twitter and Instagram, in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, that's been the video. Coronavirus in and around, making things happen, but still won't stop the content with football stuff happening. take the football away from us, but we can still produce content. So there we go. That's been the video. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again very soon for the next video. Got plenty more videos coming up. Stay tuned for that. Have a nice day. Peace. Ciao for now.